Doing a little update. Have to give the 74 Duster a break for a few days and get back in here, and I need to get the tile on this wall and then go back to that. Work on that a few days and come back in here and do the grout. And then Shannon's got to decide if she wants to buy a glass block wall to put here, and if we're going to put a door or a curtain or what on this little small walk-through area. We decided to put a wall here instead of buying a complete glass door, because sometimes our girls, one's taking a shower and the other needs to use a bath, and if me or Sandra are sleeping during the day because we both work at nights, they need to use a bathroom and can't get in our bathroom, so they want a little privacy, so we figured we'd put the glass wall there. But I was going to give some tips on things I've done. This red stuff on the wall, some of it looks pink now, but that's because it's wet and I just applied it a few minutes ago. It is called Red Guard. It is that stuff right there. I found it at Sutherland Lumber in Fort Smith, Arkansas. It was $55 a gallon before tax. 1 gallon will typically cover, one 5x6 wall and two 3x6 walls. But since I've got the little bench here and the niche, there was a little added area. When you apply it, you're supposed to water down the first part. This is a primer coat. It's 1 part of the Red Guard and 4 parts water. I did that at first and it seemed really thin and runny to me, so I added 1 more part of the Red Guard to thicken it up a little bit, because it just seemed like water before, almost, with Pepto-Bismol color to it. So anyway, with that being said, that's my personal preference. I don't think it will hurt anything. From what I've read, the reason why you add the water is it makes it thinner. It soaks into the pores of the Durock easier, which helps seal it off. All right, and you gotta wait 2 hours between each coat. Okay, and they tell you first go around and do all your seams. Now, some of these you see are not pink because I did some of this stuff last night or way early this morning, about 4 o'clock in the morning. I got tired, couldn't stay awake anymore because I've only slept about 8 hours in 3 days, so I finally went to bed for about 6 or 7 hours today. Anyway, back to this stuff. You do all your seams first, and that's after you, I'm sorry, let me back up a little bit. You reduce it, 1 part Red Guard, 4 parts water, and if you want to, add 1 more part Red Guard like I did. And then you roll on a coat all over everything, and get it in there, in all the pores. Let that dry 2 hours, which it looks like it dries a lot faster than that, but just follow the directions. It's always best to do what the manufacturer says. And so let that dry 2 hours and come back, and your roller, make sure you get all the water out of it before you go back upon next time, because it will water it down and it kind of makes it harder to cover. But before you use the roller, take a little brush like that one. I just got these cheap dollar brushes at Walmart. The bristles come out of them a little bit, but they lay the paint down a little smoother to me. I like them. It's better than paying $9 to $15 for a brush that you're gonna throw away probably. But do all your seams, all right? And I'll try to skim over everything, get to the point I'm at now. All right, so I did the primer coat, did all my seams, and come back and I put 2 coats of the Red Guard all over everything. And after you put the first coat, it says to come around and check and look. And you can't see it now because I've got this sealed off pretty good. But this Durock is really porous. There's pinholes and bubble holes in it everywhere. So after putting the primer coat, doing my seam seal and stuff, and then 1 coat of the Durock everywhere, you check it, and it says if you find any pinholes anywhere, just take a brush and fill them up. Well, since I had pinholes almost all over all of it, I decided to go and buy another gallon. So yeah, it was an extra expenditure, but I needed it because I had pinholes left and I had extra area, like the corner seat and the niche, that took up more square footage. So went and bought more, and I did the niche the night before, got that all in there, put the Durock all in the parts. And this Red Guard, it says that it will fill up cracks up to 1/8 of an inch. But the thing is, do not apply it too thick because it will crack. You can find videos on YouTube where guys tested it and they smeared it on with a trowel that was like, I don't know, 1/4 inch by 3/16 inch, which was way too much. And then they flipped the trowel over to the smooth side and spread it all out. And they were following the directions, but they just kind of abused it. They put too much too fast. And just like any product, the top is going to skim over. What's underneath it will not dry. And then what causes that to happen is the top, because it's dry, the bottom's trying to dry and it starts shrinking and it pulls the top together and makes all these cracks and looks like crow's feet and line checks everywhere. That's what they call them in the auto body business. So I'm bad about rambling, but to get back to my part here, so I bought another coat and I've done all my seams again and I sealed up these cracks around here and they're looking pretty good so far. I gotta let it dry, see how it does. There's a place up in there that might be of concern. I just gotta check it. But after this dries for 2 hours, I'm gonna come back and roll one more coat over everything. And something else I found, I don't know if it just takes longer for it to adhere to latex paint, or if it's just maybe because this latex paint is 14 years old and it's got dirt in the pores, because they say make sure everything's clean. And I gotta back up a little ways. One more thing I forgot. Get your spray bottle with cool water and you gotta mist all the Durock before you put the primer coat on. Sorry to back up quite a ways, but that's one of the key things. But if you, there's a website, I'll look it up and post it in the video, then posting the link to it. It's the company for Red Guard, and they've got directions. You go through there and it tells you there's a whole bunch of stuff, because they got directions for every kind of application, whether if you're sealing cracks in the floor, or if you're using it as a primer, or if you're using it as waterproofing. So it gets a bit intimidating. You're trying to read through there and you're figuring out which ones do I have to use. But I mean, most people can figure it out if you're a do-it-yourself guy. So that's where I'm at today. And gotta let this dry 2 hours and put one more coat over all of it. Let that dry, and hopefully by this time tomorrow, I thought maybe this morning I would be laying tile, but I got tired and couldn't do anything last night, so that's where I'm at today. I thought I'd share this. If anybody out there is a do-it-yourself guy like me, wants to tackle a project like this. But I will say, be prepared to spend thousands of dollars, because, I mean, all said and done, a shower like this, if you put 4 body sprays and a handheld, and we got a shepherd's hook rainfall up there with an 8x8 square rainfall with LEDs in it, you're going to spend close to $3,000 just for materials, and then you got to do your labor. So if you want to do something like this, be prepared to throw a big chunk of change in it. And we've been spending a little bit of overtime. I mean, we bought all the tile almost a year ago. That was about $750, so just spend a little fraction of it at a time. And I know that's not a fraction to some people, that's a lot. But anyway, enough. This video is approaching 10 minutes. I need to shut up. Alright, hope everybody enjoys. Hope it helps.